Monday, September 18th, and the Dome Foamers podcast is back. I'm your host, Christian Kruger, here with, as always, with Neil Mieski and Brian Dorton. And we're just lifelong Astros fans who love talking about the Astros. So, boys, let's go. All right, episode 21. Here we are, Monday night. First, want to thank our title sponsor, Two Gringos Chupacabra. Rub and season all. Two Gringos makes the finest rub, salsa, chips, jerky, and marinade you've ever tasted. If you haven't tried their products, please do it today because you don't know what you're missing. The main thing you need to know about Two Gringos Chupacabra products is that they are so good because they only use the finest ingredients and never, ever take shortcuts when it comes to quality. This is why we are proud to have Two Gringos Chupacabra as our title sponsor. You can find them at your local grocery store or on their website at twogringoschupacabra.com. That's the number 2, gringoschupacabra.com. Great stuff, and we appreciate them sponsoring the podcast. As stated, it's episode 21.
21.
Boys, before we get into it, everybody ready?
Love sure. It. There's not much you can throw at me right now.
The magic number of 94 is not happening. Safe to say.
No.
That is a product of how bad the Astros have played, as well as the Rangers and Mariners. We're going to go through a little bit of that and see what the new magic number or win total would be. 2-4 for the week against the minor league systems of the Royals and A's. 84-66 for the year. 1.5 games currently over the team up north. 2.5 currently over the Mariners as we're playing right now. What's the score right now Monday night against the Orioles?
3s.
Tie ball game. 3-3 and going
3-3.
Yeah, going to the 7th.
I don't have it on because I'm afraid to watch.
Good news is it looks like Boston took the lead there. So top of the 8, Boston's over. The Rangers hate winning this division as much as the Astros do.
No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it.
Where's the meme with the guns at all the Spider-Mans? No, you.
Yeah.
I mean, if we weren't in this division or the AL Central, guys, I'll say it as it is. We wouldn't be in the playoffs. But that it is what it is. No one wants to win. So I don't think we need to do a temp check. I think I know what the answer is going to be and all that. So I'm just going to open this thing up to, are we going to make the playoffs? And if we are we going to win the division? No one wants to win it, as we stated.
I will say,
bad as we've been, the other two teams have been just as bad.
Yeah.
So, Dorton, you were going to say something, so have at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that that us clinching the division, I saw it earlier today. I saw that our number to clinching the division was 11 out of 12. Which is, I will say this, we said this 5 or 6 weeks ago that the number to win the division was 95 and
94.
Well, we said 90. We amended that to 94, but I want to say we started at 95 and then dropped it down 1 or 2.
Yeah, when you were in
I said 94, but
in July.
94, but we didn't drop it enough. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah,
no.
But that's pretty dang close, man. If we're somehow wake up and win 11 out of the next 12 somehow.
For those listeners that don't understand magic number is Astros wins combined with the second team's losses, which right now currently would be the team up north. So you can get 2 games a night if the Astros happen to actually win a ball game. and the Rangers lose, which they've been doing a hell of a job of doing that, then actually that number goes from 11 to 9, just for all those people out there that don't understand how the magic number works.
And it looks like playoff berth is 7 right now. Oh, we just put 2 on the board though. That'll help. Altuve rip. Not a home run hit.
Oh, yeah.
Double.
Oh, there we
Altuve
go.
double.
Yeah, there it
Put
is.
2 on.
Good. I mean, just keep winning. I mean, I know we've said this a month ago. We've been scoreboard watching because we needed to. But honestly, just go out there. We have 12 games left, including this one, right? So,
Yep.
So I mean, I look, just win as many as you can, and you'll be okay. I think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have no confidence that's going to happen. So
I mean, the good news.
I don't know. I think every variable's on the table right now. I think we could miss the playoffs, and I think if somehow we get it right and win the division and get the bye, I think this team could go to the World Series too.
Yeah,
Like I think
that's the crazy part.
I think they could lose in the first round. I mean, we have no idea. Neil always says, and to his point, he's right. I'm going to throw it over to him here in a minute. We're spoiled. We are. I know Dorton, back in our days of the text message, always would coin the phrase, "We're fun to watch."
We sure
We're
are
not
fun to watch.
We are not fun to watch.
No.
I think those texts were in the days where we were not very fun to watch. That was 14, 15s, if I remember. That was
then we kind of
great.
coined it and joked around. But Neil, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we joked. We joked. I don't know, a couple episodes ago about flipping a coin. And that's what this team is. And I've been thinking about this in the fact of, like, Astro fans like ourselves who grew up watching these guys and from the 80s on knows what we know what it means to be an Astro fan. And that means it's going to be some ups and downs. And we kind of gotten away from that, the past 5-6 years, to where
But that was fun
we were
getting
just
away
better.
from it. That was
Yeah,
fun.
it was a hell of a time. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so, but we'd say ups and downs, and you'd look up and we'd win 80 games and be like, well, I mean, it wasn't bad. But now our expectations, our expectations are way different. And so to see these guys, I'm gonna say, compete
Really?
from week to week. From week,
there was a couple of games this week where I questioned that.
That's why I kind of paused, but it's frustrating, and there's got it has some glimpses of the old Astros. Being an Astro fan to where you just didn't know what was going to show up, and that's frustrating because, again, the last 5 or 6 years we've kind of grown away from that stretch, and so you played 2 of the worst clubs in Major League Baseball, and you win 2 games, 2 out of the 6, when we're sitting there anticipating these games, saying this is our chance to separate, and we clearly don't. Home, away, it didn't matter, right? We had the A's at home, 1-1. Had the Royals away, we win 1. So it's frustrating. I mean, and it's the 2023 ball club. I mean, that's who we are.
Yeah.
And can they right that ship in the playoffs? Man, I don't know if it's I don't think it's a light switch like that. I don't think you just walk in and turn it on. Now, I do think it's to our advantage if we make it that we've been there. I feel like we have that advantage because, again, these guys have played in World Series games. They've been there. So
look, all I know, and we don't know much. I mean, because we don't know what team's going to show up. But this is just, I don't want the wild card. I don't think I just don't think it's gonna end well. I just don't. I don't want to go to a 3-game series versus anybody. Um, I think the only chance we have, and look, we got to get there first. And
Yeah.
I mean, but we need that bye. But we shouldn't even talk about that right now. Seriously, like that. Like as much as we've talked about it, we should not even talk about that first. We should talk about the next 12 games. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't like we've documented it. We've talked about it. I can't put a finger on what this team's missing. I don't know what it is. It seems like you score double digits 3 straight games, and then you go 4 games with 1 or 2 runs, and then the pitching shows up, and then the bats don't, and then the bats show up, and the pitching doesn't. And I mean, I have no clue what's going to show up night in and night out, other than Diaz is going to be on the bench. That's all I know. Which, by the way, one more home run, and he breaks the all-time rookie record for the Astros from Carlos Correa, who played almost every game, and he's played half. So
he's not playing.
No way.
But look, we beat that dead horse, and it's right, and we're right. But this team, I can't figure out what's missing. Do y'all? I mean, I cannot figure out what's going on. I know we said this just before we started the podcast. They could have put the division away last week. The division could have been put away with who we were playing and what the other 2 teams did. It's not, so it's a missed opportunity. You know what happens when you miss opportunities? They come back and bite you. So they better get control.
Is there something to be said about like what I mean? We've said it from the day one. Like one of the biggest things that's lacking on this team, obviously, well, amongst other things, is consistency. But it goes from, our hitting to our pitching, but all the way down to who's playing today. What's the lineup going to look like today? And like you don't know anything about this team until about 2 hours before the game, and these players probably don't know it either. Like,
I disagree. You don't know anything. You know, 4 people are playing most likely.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you know, there's going to be 4 people in the lineup.
Who are those 4 to you? Bregman,
I mean, right now,
Jordan, Tucker,
and
Pena.
Altuve.
Well, and Jordan's right. Payne's going to be into it, but I mean, I just don't think he's right though. Payne's going to be in there somewhere. But I mean, Jordan, I wouldn't. You're right. I mean, you don't know much, but I mean, you do know that those 5 are going to be in the line.
But you don't know where they're batting. You don't know where they're going to hit. I mean, there's something to be said about when things start going wrong, change it up. You bet. I think that's an absolute. But to change it up just to change it up and just to move things around, to move them around, I still don't understand that. I never have.
Well, I don't have answers for that. I know that I wasn't happy with them putting Pena back up at 2, and then he was up there for 3 weeks, whatever. And all of a sudden he's not. Like, I mean, what? Like, I don't. And look, we haven't been scoring runs, so I mean, I am, and you guys know. I mean, I am. Jordan, you said it. I'm in favor of moving stuff around. We're not scoring, but there's not inconsistency. Look, there's not inconsistency, and we know how we feel about how it's being managed. But these dudes, I mean, the performance of this team is just so subpar for the talent that's on the team. It is so subpar. And
well, I've got good news and bad news.
Who's hurt?
Which one you want first? No one's hurt.
Bad news.
It says
the bad news is we're no longer in a comfortable 2-run lead. How about that?
Okay, so 5-4.
Yep, 5-4. So the good news is we're still in the lead.
Montero, that's the good news.
Yeah, Montero is getting absolutely blasted right now. He looks full Montero dialed in.
It's first and third, nobody out.
They are hitting the ball.
Yeah, so
they're hitting the ball.
So they're going to take the lead.
On the nose. Oh God. Oh well, okay. He may have gotten hit by one came up the middle. Let's see if he's hurt.
I mean, we can't get Gunnar. We can't get Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman out. Now they're good players,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna
they
tell
are.
you this, Frank. I'm gonna tell you this. This is the team I don't want to see to the AL Championship Series. Which again, I don't even want to bring that up. But this team that we're playing is the next Astros. They are
Well-
about to go on a run like the Astros have been on.
Well, they're about as hungover as they can get, and then they got on a plane and came to Houston this morning, and they're about to take the lead from us again. So there you go.
These dudes just mash.
All they did last night was partied when they clinched it. Which good on them, man. Like that's what you
Well,
do.
what they do? They
That's
clinched
what you do.
they clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they haven't
Is
been
there
in the
only-
playoffs in a while.
They and Tampa both just clinched a playoff spot.
Because Baltimore's only 2 games up on Tampa,
On Tampa, yeah.
and that'll be.
These dudes,
I mean that's its own race.
these dudes are young. They can get hungover and mash.
No,
They're good.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now.
All right, so where do y'all want to go? Do y'all want to go the next 12?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it.
let's talk
Because I
about
wanna
it
see-
because
I
Go
want
ahead.
to look at Seattle and Texas as well. Just to kind of round it out, because
I know
All right, so-
Seattle's is easy to memorize because they've got 3 with the A's, and then I know the rest 10. But all right,
Yeah.
fair. Who do we want to start with?
Houston. Let's start with us.
All right,
So
so
we
y'all.
we-
I've pretty much got it. I think it's 3 against Baltimore, 3 home against Kansas City after Thursday off day, and then we go to
Yep.
Seattle for 3 and Arizona for 3.
correct. So let me ask y'all this question because again I've played with this and penciled this stuff in. So obviously Verlander pitches tonight. Brown is penciled in for tomorrow, coming off his near no. Javier is scheduled for Wednesday, which oh gosh. So then we have our bye. Then it's France starting off versus Kansas City, Valdez, and then Verlander closes it out, which is the question. You know, Verlander's big on every 5th day. So that lineup or our pitching rotation lines up at Seattle. Brown, Javier, France. So 1 and 2 don't pitch against Seattle if this stays the place. Yeah.
Can I
go
say
ahead.
something?
Yeah,
We don't have 1 and 2.
sure. Right.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
who's the 1 and 2? But I sure would like to see Valdez and Verlander pitch against Seattle.
Can I,
I
okay,
would,
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole yet, but I'm going to ask this question since you went there. Do either of you trust Verlander?
over.
He didn't have a
Javier-
great
over-
he didn't have a great outing tonight either.
When was his last great outing?
Well, I trust him over Javier and Brown
Okay, that's fair.
and
I understand.
France for that. Javier Brown and France. And so it's.
Yeah,
I mean, when we say 1 and 2, we're maybe not in the traditional sense of a lockdown 1 and a solid 2. Although
I think we just answered the question. We don't have a 1 and 2. There you go. Now I think Valdez is our best because he can go 7 innings, and if you get good Valdez, you might get some ground balls in 7 innings and 2.
Yeah.
But he hadn't pitched up to his standards. But Neil, I get it. Like you're right. What you're doing is you're comparing it to Brown and France and Javier. That you can't argue that. I just don't think it matters at this point. Like I would go get wins. Like I would just go
Sure.
stack wins because, and here's why I say that even more is because the Mariners and Rangers play each other 7 times.
Right.
And
so
so
okay,
just stack wins.
so and that's the question, right? So Verlander and France, I mean Valdez and Verlander pitch the last 2 games of the Royal Series. They don't pitch at Seattle, which means then Valdez, Verlander, and Brown close out the season at Arizona.
Which is why another reason why if it stays that way, you have to get the bye so those guys don't pitch the first 3-game series of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So-
they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to, is what I'm saying.
Correct. Yeah. No, for sure. And so, anyway, I didn't know. I wanted to get y'all's take on, do you adjust anything to get those guys against Seattle? I mean,
No, because
that's
then you
double-
might not have them against Arizona. So I think you want to have them a third time,
right.
because what they'll have. I think you want. I mean, they are our best two pitchers. I know, but
Yeah.
I think you want them more than anyone else. So I think you leave it
Right.
as is.
Right. So I wanted to throw that out there. Right. So what I had, and this is how many ever weeks ago, I've got us winning 2 of 3 against Baltimore for some reason. I've got us winning 2 of 3 against Kansas City. I have Seattle winning 2 of 3. And then I have us winning 2 of 3 in Arizona, which puts us, gosh dang it, thought I had it, which puts us at, man, 1, 2.
Well, yeah,
3,
but we did
4,
that
5, 6, 7.
2 podcasts ago.
Oh yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
We
I
didn't know
mean-
we were going to lay eggs versus AAA teams.
so what that has, I've got the Astros finishing now with 91 wins. And again, I mean, who in the hell knows, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
You know what I think we finish at?
what's that?
6-6, 90.
Possible. Very possible. I mean, again, I'm not picking.
Does
us
that get
to
it
win.
done?
So, all right, let's talk about the Rangers.
Well,
Remember.
but remember, the Rangers are playing Seattle for
Yeah,
6 of these
And
games.
And if the 7 games. And
7 of them. Yeah.
if the Rangers tie us, they're see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vice versa, if
So-
the Mariners do. The Mariners get the tiebreaker.
so the Rangers have 3 in Boston, which I've got. I've got them winning 2 of 3. Then I've got the 3-game series at Seattle. I've got the Rangers winning 1. Then the Rangers host the Angels. I've got them winning 2. And then the last series in they went to Seattle and they end at home the 4-game series, and I have that as a split. So again, winning series against Boston, losing it at Seattle, winning against the Angels, and splitting with Seattle. I've got them at 89.
Okay.
And so when you take Seattle, I've got them winning. They've got Oakland. They're at Oakland. So I've got them winning 2 of 3 in Oakland. Again,
Hopefully.
I've got Seattle. Yeah, I've got Seattle
Hopefully.
winning only 1 of 3 at Texas. Again, I've got them winning 2 of 3 against Houston. And then I've got the split when Texas goes there, hopefully. And so that puts them at 88 wins. So based off whatever projections, us ending with 91, Texas winning, having 89, and Seattle having 88. And so I went a step further and said, okay, 88, let me go see what the Blue Jays did. And so I did the Blue Jays. They've got a bunch with Tampa Bay,
Yep.
and which isn't good for them.
No.
And so I've got, again, projection wise, I've got Seattle and the Blue Jays time, and whatever happens out of that deal, how they break tiebreakers, because they split. They're 3-3, both won 2 of 3 at home.
Ooh.
So see how that shakes out in whatever tiebreakers, if that happens.
Yeah.
And so I guess the point of all this, sorry, real fast, Brian.
Yeah.
The point of all this is that I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
this far away.
that far.
You know, every
Yeah.
I
game
think-
is.
You
I
think
mean,
you think
holy
every
moly.
win might matter?
Maybe so. Which is why
hey-
those two against Oakland and Kansas City hurt.
Huge. Abreu just hit it up dead center into the newly revamped batter's eye for a single dong shot. So we retook the lead.
We better
After
score about
Montero-
we better score about 5 more to win tonight.
I want to talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that. What they did something to the batter's eye. What?
Hold on.
Okay.
We'll get it. Yeah. Hold on. So let's recalibrate. 94 is obviously not happening. I think.
Yeah.
I guess on all that, I guess 91. I think 91 gets it done. Maybe 90, but I think 91 would definitely get it done. So that would mean we go 7 and we need to go 7-5.
That's what I've got.
I mean, 91
Yeah,
should get
that's
it
what
done, unless someone just goes on it. Unless one of the teams just mauls the other one between the Mariners and Rangers. 91 should get it done.
Yeah. And that's the scary part, right? I mean, if one of those two, and I say scary in order to win the division, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if Seattle or Texas goes in and starts kicking somebody else's ass, that could put the division in question and bump us to a wild card spot potentially.
Well, we've won it how many years in a row? I don't want to lose the division, and this team is not built for an extra series of wild card. It's just not. All right, let's just talk Astros. I think they're going 6-6. I think they're going to get to 90. Neil,
I've got them at 7-5.
okay. Jordan,
I think 7-5 makes sense as well. I do.
you know, I think also
mean,
could that make sense? 5-7.
5-7 or four wins.
I mean,
4 wins also makes sense.
I mean, again,
88
in
also
late-
makes sense.
Or mid-July.
88. If they win 80, if they get to 88 or 89, I don't think we win the division.
Right. I mean, in mid-July, I projected 95. So, I mean, we win 11. We go.
I think I said
11-1.
92, but I don't even care anymore. I just want them to win the division.
I've got some pride. I want to be right. 95 wins would be amazing.
Well, that ain't
But
happening.
yeah, no, I'm not holding my breath. I mean, there's zero signs of anything of that nature. And so the reality could be, again, 6-6. That's 50-50. That's who we are.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Let's real quick, and then we'll move on to what Dorton was bringing up. So Neil,
by the way,
you think the Mariners finish second and the team up north finishes third?
No, I've got it the other way.
Okay.
I've got it to where right now Texas ends up with 89 wins and Seattle ends with 88. But that again.
I know. That's just what you think.
Yeah.
That's your educated guess.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be interesting.
I just hope those 7 games go 3-4 either way, 4-3. That's what I hope. Because I hope they all accrue 3. I hope one team accrues 3 losses and the other accrues 4.
I agree. That gives us
that's best case scenario for the Astros.
Correct. That gives us the best chance to win the division.
Yeah.
100% agree with that.
Okay, y'all want to move on to another topic?
Yeah, let's talk about that batter's eye.
Okay. So Dorton, go ahead. You go ahead and you bring it up.
I don't know.
You were starting.
I don't know enough about it. All I know is that there was a tweet by the Astros, or
I think
their media that.
I think it's a complete non-story.
Was it a troll? Was it a troll?
I don't know.
Are they just trolling?
I don't know. They came out after we lost another game to the Triple Royals, and so I was mad anyway. And I saw it, and I'm like, so they're saying that their issues are that the visibility of the batter's eye in Houston. And I'm like, that's weird because the other team looks at the same batter's eye. Isn't that odd?
Yeah.
So I don't know what they said they came out and were going to do something to it. I'm with you, man. I was mad. I didn't study it. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a complete non-story, complete excuse in my mind.
it doesn't look
Again,
any different just on TV.
it's not like one team's playing in a blizzard with 20-mile-an-hour wind in your face, and the other one's got a jet stream out to left field. So
Yeah, the Montero effect.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that. I mean, I heard that and I saw all that, and I mean, I don't know if they did anything in the off season. Did they change I mean, that to me, it's an elaborate bullcrap thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
Is it update real quick? 6-5.
Still 6-5. They just pulled their pitcher, so they're putting someone else in. I don't know who there is yet.
Okay.
And the Red Sox are winning 4-2, going to the bottom 9. They've got one out, guy on first, so tying run is at the plate for the rest of the time until further notice.
All right. Why are we not playing one of our best hitters other than every stuff we've talked about?
You couldn't stay away, huh? Who are you talking about?
Oh, who are you talking about? You talking about who?
Dubon?
Dubon, yeah.
Okay. So he's tied the Astros rookie record of home runs by Carlos Correa, who played almost every day that year. And he's played, 60%? I mean, we see him once a week now. And yes, if you've listened to this podcast, you know who we're talking about. We're talking about Yanni or Diaz. Like, he goes in one game last week and hits a home run and hits his 22nd home run.
Yeah. And
I'm not even
know.
going to get on Chaz. Chaz didn't play like 3 games in a row, and he plays yesterday and gets 3 hits.
What do you say? I mean,
I don't know.
Literally. I mean, we have beaten this up, and it's.
I'm almost more upset with the front office now. And y'all know how upset. Y'all know how mad I was with Dusty.
No,
it's. What are we doing?
We now know that Dusty's going to Dusty. I mean, we've known that for years, but that is what it is. But what are you doing in the front office if you're not going to sit up and do something about it? Like, come on, like that's what do you do? What are you here for then?
You have the most amateur, average fans of baseball that are standing up saying stuff. Like,
right.
It's so apparent to the general population of baseball fans. I mean, we have fans from other teams trolling us because we don't play our best players.
Well, and I think I sent y'all that. I'll find that tweet and credit it, but it's the fact that it's going to get more coverage because it is obviously an incorrect decision that is willfully made, right? Like, teams are always going to, there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be good nights and bad nights. It is what it is, right? But when you consistently and willfully make decisions that are demonstratively the incorrect decision, people are going to say something about it. And then when you hear Dusty get all defensive about it, what do you expect? Like,
right.
What do you expect, Dusty? Like, these are terrible decisions being made. And then when people question you on it, you take offense or you how dare you?
No one calls him into the principal's office.
Where's the
accountability? Where's the accountability?
I would love to know. Gosh, I would love to know what conversations go on between Dana and Dusty on that stuff.
Mm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're to the point where they're not talking much already. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, But-
Boston just beat Texas.
all right.
Team up north, you suck. Pretty sure. I think we said this last podcast. I'm gonna say it again for all our Rangers fans that listen to this podcast. Ever since Simeon stepped on that home plate, stomped on that home plate, they're
Oof.
under 500.
Man,
Sorry.
Karma.
Yep.
hate
Karma,
to hear
karma.
that. But yeah, I mean the Yonner Chaz stuff is I mean it
But
doesn't.
every
appear to
time
be
they go
changing.
in, but every time they come in, they do something. They're productive.
Yes.
Like it's crazy to me. Like I don't know how they do it. It's actually more hats off and more difficult for them. They play once and twice a week, and they get in there and they contribute and produce. I don't know how they do that.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
It really is.
unbelievable, really. Yeah, it's frustrating, and you know, it's the same old thing. Like, I'm gonna be interested to see if we make the playoffs, where all of this goes. I mean, where does Brantley? I mean, whatever tools that the coaching staff uses to make these decisions.
I would
Man,
love to
I'd
be
love-
talking. I would love to be
Ah.
talking playoff roster right now, but we can't because there's some decisions to be made there. But we ain't there.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Next Sunday, that hopefully is a little bit more clear, but who the hell knows? Maybe not.
Who
Probably
kno-
not.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really think that we're gonna be finding out who, not only who the division leader is, but if there's even a chance of making the playoffs when we play Arizona.
Could be. I mean,
I'm
it could very
hoping.
well
I'm
could
hoping.
be.
I'm hoping it's done by then. But the problem with that is, Dorton. Like, I agree with you. We have 3 games in Seattle before that. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah. There's as much possibility of us getting swept as them getting swept, and things are just all over the place at that point.
I agree. It's. I mean, which is why 6-6 is in our wheelhouse. So
Well, I mean, look, it's obvious that they're going to play Maldi 4 out of 5 games, 6 out of 7, whatever it is. So then if that's the case, which we obviously all don't agree with, but if that's the case, then you have 8 batters now. Now you have 8 batters.
Yeah.
And anything you get out of that from him is bonus. But you essentially have 8 batters. So
correct.
then Chaz absolutely has to be in the lineup if you're going to have 8 hitters.
And why not
And-
Diaz?
No, I haven't even gone there yet. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. But there's been lineups out there that when Maldonado was catching, Chaz was not in the lineup.
Yeah.
Insane.
What was the killer? What did they call it? The killer lineup. There was that one lineup that it had everybody, and it's only happened a couple of times.
It's happened like 3 times.
Yeah.
You have Jordan. I mean, I think they had Jordan and Brantley, DH left.
Yeah.
You had Chaz in center. You had Diaz catching.
Yeah. That's it.
I'd be interested to know the stat on that one. How many runs
know.
we've scored?
I'd have to go
Because
look at
you
it.
you can't just say wins, because again, our pitching staff could have been throwing a goose egg that night. But yeah. Oh man. It's interesting, frustrating.
Well,
And-
yeah, for a listen, go sorry, Nick. Go ahead, Neil.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we we've talked about the window for this organization perhaps closing little by little, season by season, and obviously this year has been a sign of that. Is that again? I don't want to say it's all because of Maldi, but between Maldi, Dusty, the WBC, the World Series. I mean, pitching into November. I mean, those innings. I mean, all of that just catches up to you at some point in time, and I think it's a culmination of all those things combined that has diminished our wins. Now, at the same time, Texas and Seattle are better.
Yep.
I agree with all those factors. I think all those have played in injuries, right? You know, with Altuve
Injuries.
and Jordan, but everyone has injuries, man. So like
Yes,
that just
I
happens,
agree.
right? But all those things that you brought up, I think are fair points. Which again, we've talked about it. Means then take advantage of the opportunities and play your best lineup to get. I mean, just on WAR alone, we've documented this. Diaz is technically about a 5-win player over Maldi. You guys want those 5 wins right now?
Take them.
Hey Astros fans,
I'll take
would
them.
would you want those 5 wins right now?
I'll take them.
Right.
And
Yep,
that's
for sure.
that's the thing. It's the weird thing about baseball is, oh, it's a long season. It's 160. It is, but more times than not, it comes down to a handful of games,
Yeah.
meaning 1, 2, 3, 4 games. It just does because the talent level is so razor thin, so close to each other. And unless you go 2 and 4 versus the Triple A's and Triple Royals, but I mean, we would all take those 5 wins right now. And you know what? We'd be talking about playoff roster and who we want to meet up in the second round.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why it is criminal and it's sabotage and everything that we've documented is because we haven't had all those. We've had all those external factors that Neil brought up and the injuries. Every freaking game. I mean, you know how many games we can go back and through this podcast and talk about losses we had. If we had 2 or 3, I mean, I would take 2 or 3 more wins right now. Right now,
Sure.
just bank them. I feel pretty comfortable about our situation.
Yep.
Well,
I agree.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's just frustrating. It really is. So, anything else you want to wrap up before we go and move into next? And for the listeners, you know, we understand. Everyone's happy and loves when the Astros are winning. It's more fun to listen to, but we're fans. We call it as it is, and they haven't been playing well, and it's crunch time. And I'm telling you, we've gotten gifts. We got another gift tonight from the team up north. They're in the Christmas mood of giving losses away. Thank you.
I know.
I
think it's pretty incredible that the amount of just absolute implosions that are going on here at the end.
It's
nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when the Rangers go to Toronto and sweep Toronto in a 4-game series after we had just played them, you kind of go, oh Lordy,
oh boy, this isn't good,
right? And since then they've lost 4 in a row. So they won 4 in a row, and they lost.
They won 6 in a row.
Yes, technically yes. I mean, and because they played the A's, and they won those last 2. But you know, you just sit there and you go, man, you would think Toronto would, you know, at least win half of them. They're in Toronto. No. And so you're sitting there going, there's the heater. The Rangers are on that heater.
Okay.
And then
now we did. We thought, yeah, I know. One thing before we move on, let's assume we make the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Oh, I like where we're going here.
Let's assume.
All right, let's go.
Are we really going to bat Abreu 4th in the playoffs? Are we really?
I mean, I guess he's starting to turn a little bit here. Like here are the past few games.
Don't
So we're
care.
really going to bet. Are we really going to bat him fourth?
Don't care.
Don't.
Don't
Just
care.
please tell me. Just please tell me no.
Yeah, I don't.
I
Want
don't.
fourth.
I sure
Are we
don't
going
feel like
to?
he's a 4-hole hitter.
Okay,
But
so
on this
my
team,
point
but
being,
my God,
if he's hitting 4, that means he's hitting in front of
Tucker.
most
McCormick.
likely Kyle Tucker.
mm-hmm.
Okay, who's probably our team MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that also means Neil said it, but he beat me to it. It means he's most likely hitting before Chas McCormick, who also has an argument per plate appearance as our team MVP.
Yeah.
Now, I think pound for pound, you give it to Tucker. Tucker's our team MVP right now. But
I'd agree.
if you take efficiency of games, I mean, Chas is right there. So that means you've got a guy hitting 233 and with a WRC plus, OPS plus, whatever stat you want me to bring up, of 20% less than the average major league hitter batting fourth. It is asinine. It is so stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you guys have been talking about this in our chat, but Tucker approaching 30-30.
Yeah.
I want him to get it so bad. I do want him to get it. I think Dorton said, how many stolen bases does Chas have? Chas, our part-time no center fielder, is about to be 2020.
2020.
Yes. So Tucker's 27 homers, 20. I think he got one tonight. That puts him at 29 steals. McCormick needs one more stolen base.
Oh, sweet.
He's at
2020.
He got
2020 as a part-time player.
Oh, did McCormick get two stolen bases?
I know he got at least one.
Oh, well, then that puts him 2020.
Real, that's awesome.
Good, but he can't play center field.
Not bad for part-time guy.
Not fat Chas. Yeah, okay, we're getting
Not
cynical
bad.
again.
Okay, Neris just struck out Gunnar.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Absolutely.
All day, every day.
Okay. So we're going to move on to Dome Phone Player of the Week. I don't have one. I'm not going to give one. None of them deserve me to buy them a beer. We didn't talk about that ahead of time. So I'm gonna let y'all decide if y'all want. I'm not giving one of them damn fools a beer. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, the only guy
after losing 2 or 3.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
After losing 2 series to AAA teams, hard pass.
The only guy that I'd give one to is Hunter Brown.
Yeah, I mean,
and y'all know I'm not real high on him right now, but you throw what,
hey,
5?
You get your selection, buddy. If you want to give a Dome Phone away, have at it.
Well, I'm glad that we didn't get swept by the A's because Hunter Brown pitched 5 innings of no-hit ball. Yeah. I don't know if that's deserving or not, but for the time being, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Well, I am going to introduce a kind of a new-ish spin on this, and it is the I think we've done similar to this, but it is the reverse Dome Foam, and this week a reverse Dome Foam comes from who? Presley. He buys everybody a beer.
Oh,
he buys everybody a beer this week. Everyone a beer. Everyone a beer.
He definitely needs to buy the pitching staff one.
Yep.
Nah, he's fine. He's fine. I'll still drink his beer. But
enjoy your beer from my man.
I'm with Dorton on this one. So that means I've got my dome, officially have my Dome Foam, and I'm keeping it for myself. Because when you lose 2 series against AAA teams, you don't deserve one. I don't care who you are.
I don't remember who
So you
wrote
get
it.
two. You get two dome foams.
2.
Two of them. Okay.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said that they made an argument, and I think I'm okay with it. But they said they were glad that it didn't because they didn't want them feeling good walking away from the A series with a no hitter.
Okay, that's fair.
Out on the field celebrating, hey, we no hit the A's.
Well,
But
guess
you
what?
lost 2 of 3.
We
Yeah.
didn't do a no hitter, and we still lost 2 or 3 for the Triple Royals. So what does it matter?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm okay with I'm not saying I'm okay with Presley like giving up a no hitter, but I'm not mad at him. So,
And 2 runs.
we just scored a run. Don't tell me
Mm.
Maldi hit a homer. Don't
Oh,
tell me Maldi.
You're
Maldonado
ahead of me. Did he?
Yeah,
Did he
Well,
homer?
Yeah.
well, congratulations. We need to play him over Yonder Diaz every game.
14 homers, man.
I will say this: that guy, as soon as everyone's had enough, we've had enough of him. Oh, he did. He crushed that too. He crushed it.
Well, here I will say this. It got released that people are attacking him personally and on Twitter.
No, that was going.
We're not doing
like his family.
Yeah.
That was going to his family. No,
don't
that's.
I think we're all on the same page here. Like, we like Maldi. We just don't want him to be the catcher 4 out of 5 nights.
People that send that stupid stuff belong somewhere special. I mean, that's just
no. Listen. Maldi is Maldi. Maldi is he's probably a really good dude. He's obviously a really good clubhouse guy.
Right.
I think that there are a lot of places that he would be fine, but behind the plate for the Astros probably aren't. No, not probably. Behind the plate for the Astros isn't one of those. Maybe it's almost time to take that step back and become that clubhouse guy and take on more of a coaching role or some sort of a mentor role. I think he would be terrific there.
Okay, here we go. So he's one of the oldest catchers in baseball. He's caught. I think he's like second in most games caught. Why? Like I don't. Why? Like why? Why?
I mean, there was a time where he was very good behind the plate.
But that's not right now.
Years ago, but it is no longer the case.
Well, what I'm saying is he's already aged and he's actually really old for a catcher.
Yep.
Why is he second most in Major League Baseball in appearances behind the plate? Why?
Especially when you have
your manager.
Like
yeah, because your manager covets seniority and he puts player seniority over talent no matter what. Period. Yep. I mean, and he's shown. He's shown it.
Okay. That's fair. Who has the most seniority coming into this season in center field?
Yeah.
But
I'll sit here for a minute.
He covets seniority unless you're super fat.
Fat Chaz. That's not true. Maldonado.
Yeah, but he lost a little bit of weight.
I can poke holes in anything that guy throws out there. Like I just okay. We are going to move to the Throwback Player of the Week. And we are blessed and fortunate enough to have our Throwback Player of the Week sponsored by Victoria Equipment Auction. At Victoria Equipment Auction, our number one goal is to get you the best price for your equipment in a hassle-free, professional manner. Whether you are part of a large corporation looking to clear out old equipment out of your inventory or an individual interested in selling a single piece, Victory Equipment Auction is ready to go to work for you. Just drop your equipment off and they will take care of the rest. Call Clay at 361-935-2444, 361-935-2444, or at victoriaequipmentauction.com. Shout out to Kenny and Kevin Griffin, who we've known for a long time, the good people there. So, Neil, I throw it over to you. This ought to be interesting because you have not told us who you're using, and we are so glad of how we're playing right now. So here we have at it.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah,
Uh-oh.
I just changed
I'm
the background.
I'm
Just changed the
squinting.
background a little bit. You know, can you see it?
I can see Astros jerseys and,
I see
and
Biggio.
players.
I see a Biggio who is a catcher.
Yep.
Is that Cammy in the middle?
Cam in the middle.
Caminetti. Yep.
And is that Maldonado? Maldonado's rookie year.
That's great.
That's funny.
That's great. So, growing up, I had this poster.
Did you
And
really?
I did. And,
Well, I want
so
to guess
today,
who it is.
I don't remember that.
y'all can't tell who it is. Who the third guy is? Here, let me get out of the
No,
way.
That
do you have a
Eric
number?
Young?
Do you have a no? No, that'd be Eric Yeldon
Who'd you say?
or
Eric Yeldon.
Gerald
Yeah.
Young.
Gerald Young.
It is Gerald Young.
There we go.
So
Gerald Young.
somebody, and this is again the rabbit holes that I find myself in, because again I just go to the list of all-time Astros and just start digging, and whoever sparks a interest, and I've shut down, I don't know, several guys like I mean, yeah, I remember him, but there's no story to him. And so today I pull up and I hit the Y's. I started at the bottom today. And so, can anybody tell me where he's from? Him and Mauricio Dubon have a connection because
He's from Honduras.
Honduras.
yes,
Wow, I
he's
did
from
not know that.
Honduras. Yeah, so him and Mauricio Dubon. So Gerald Young, he was the first Honduran to play for the Astros, and then Mauricio Dubon was the second. So Gerald Anthony Young, born October 22nd, 1964. He's a 1982 graduate of Santa Ana Valley High School in California. So he's a Californian by trade.
Just
So
like
he was
Dubon.
actually drafted in the 5th round. Does anybody know by who? Not the Astros. I wouldn't have a clue either, right? So he's drafted in 1982 by the New York Mets. In that same draft, the Mets get Rafael Palmeiro and Dwight Gooden, and they actually So they were a part of a draft class that set a major league record at the time for 14 guys from that 1982 draft ended up being major league players. So again, the Honduran thing got my interest. Here's the second part that got my interest. Like, how did we get him? So the Astros traded for him in 1984 for Ray Knight, future manager of the Mets.
Yeah.
So that was
and I believe Ray Knight was the one that scored in '86, the ball that went through Buckner's legs versus the Red Sox. I'm pretty sure that was Ray Knight that scored.
I think you're on it. So Gerald Young comes over. He's kind of in the same time frame as Biggio Caminetti, which is the picture.
Yeah.
And these guys, these young stars to be, start getting all the attention, right? And so he makes his major league debut in '87, so the year after we make the playoff run. right? Because he was traded in '84, goes to the minor leagues, doesn't make it till '87. So he showed his promise because again, he starts batting 321. So for those who don't know, Gerald Young was a speedster, center fielder, and ends up finishing 5th in the National League Rookie of the Year, coming up in July. Right?
I didn't know.
So
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, so he comes up in July and ends up batting 321, 26 stolen bases. Back then, stolen bases were kind of like today, or kind of like it's trending back to. And so the Astros feel like, I mean, between Biggio, Caminetti, and Young, that these guys are fixing to take over the league, so to speak. Like, these are the guys that we're going to build our team around. Following year becomes Young's best season, and ends up stealing 65 bases. And so again, we feel like we got this center field.
What's that? 65 bases?
Right. In his first full season as an Astro. So again,
I don't remember that.
The Astros organization is going nuts, combining all these young guys and coming off of the '86 season, there's a lot of moving parts that have changed places, trying to build back up. So in '88, he pops off 65. We've got a solid center fielder. Billy Hatcher and all those guys have moved on. So the following year ends up being a disappointment because now he starts to struggle, steals 34 bases, but still phenomenal center fielder. And so one of the stats that I put out there, he had 412 opportunities, so he had 412 outs and still only had one error. So
wow.
pretty amazing, pretty amazing stat for that. But the problem was he couldn't hit, right? So he could steal, but he couldn't get on base, right? So the next couple seasons go on, they actually send him down back and forth between AAA and Houston, and so he goes through some injuries. Next thing you know, the Astros don't sign him. Young ends up signing actually in 1993 with the expansion Colorado Rockies, plays a little bit there, gets released. '94, he goes to the Reds for a handful of games and then cuts his career at that point in time. So that was it, right? So overall as an Astro, he ends up batting 246 and ends up with 153 steals in a 6-year time span. He plays 600 games. So roughly 100 games a season, and just becomes an afterthought. So a guy that the Astros invested in, thought this could be a guy for us, turns out to not be the missing piece or the guy that was going to be the franchise player like Caminetti and Biggio ended up sort of being for a while.
Ryan Presley sucks.
Did he give it up?
Yes.
Put that in the podcast.
Oh, damn. 8-7.
3-run jack. 3-run jack.
Well, guess what? If the two guys in front of you don't get hits, you give a solo shot, we still win the ball game. Dude, I'm so over him. Abreu needs to be the closer. Sorry to derail the throwback. I apologize.
No, that sucks. Jeez.
I'm so sick of watching him close games.
Who do we have up?
He doesn't close games. He loses games recently.
Alvarez, Abreu, Tucker, McCormick. So,
all right. Sorry, Neil.
No, and again, so Gerald Young, again, just a guy that I remember growing up, and again, that guy being somewhat pretty high on him, and then next thing you know, the rug's pulled and he disappears. So I
don't remember him not being able to hit. I guess I do remember his speed.
I do. I remember him not being able to
hit. Yeah, but this is the Presley thing has put a damper on Gerald Young.
Sorry, Gerald.
Apologies.
You were-
Apologies to Gerald.
You were fast. And that's
about it.
67.
That'll about
67?
do it. 65. You
Or
talking about
six- no.
stolen bases?
Yeah.
Yeah, 65.
Dang.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say other than thank you, Neil, for that. Thank you to our title sponsor, Two Gringos. Thank you to our throwback sponsor, a Victoria Equipment Auction. A little damper is with the games going on, and we just can't find a way to win a game. We try to find ways to lose.
Well, we just
you-
blocked somebody. He
you
Presley
take the
just put another
division.
person on. Here.
Brian, do you want
Here, you.
Brian, do you want the division?
No,
you want
thank
to be
you.
the AL? No?
No, thank
Christian,
no,
you
thank
wanna-
you. I've
I'm
got
gonna tell you right
plans.
now. I'm gonna tell you
I've
right
got
now.
plans this October. No,
I'm
thank
gonna tell
you.
you right now.
Yeah.
Watch the Mariners sweep the A's. Watch it, and then it's all done this. Turned upside down. Watch it.
Mm.
Well,
And if you take care of your own business, they can't catch you. Because guess what? They play each other. But if you do crap like this, it's gifts. And I mean, I don't want to hear about last year. Last year's over. He was phenomenal in the World Series. He's not phenomenal this year.
Mm-mm.
And when was the last time he's gotten 3 up, 3 down?
it's a good question.
He always gives up a hit, a walk. You cannot, when you have a 2-run lead, you cannot put people on base. And look, they both got hits, but this team can mash. I saw Dorton's face. I knew something bad happened. So I freaking got on my phone and 3-run dong show by Cedric Mullins.
Great. Well,
If the Mariners are up 3-0, so they win tonight, it'll be 1.5. They're in front. 1.5. We're ahead. And remember, you can't tie the Mariners because they've got the tiebreaker.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to wrap up before we go?
Come on, Alvarez, Abreu, Tucker, McCormick.
Yep.
You know what? Show some fight. And even if you don't end up coming back, someone launch a freaking cooler into the Orioles dugout. Do something. I mean, this team needs some freaking fire.
Yeah, I agree.
This is our pitching, man. Whoa.
You know how many hits we've
Everybody's
given
got
up tonight?
problems. Yes, 16.
Maybe 16 hits.
Well,
I don't have anything else, boys. I appreciate you
how
guys.
have we won 85?
We haven't. We won 84.
84. How have
Um,
we won 84?
Look, like, share. Hopefully it gets better. But I appreciate all those that are loyal listeners. I get a ton of feedback about the podcast. People asking what we're going to talk about. I'm like, you got to wait and see. You got to see how the Astros play. I know it hadn't been good, and I know it wasn't good last week, the Astros, and I know it's not good tonight. But, hey, we're still Astros fans, and we can critique a couple things. Dusty sucks.
Dusty does
and-
suck.
I'm going to leave it. Anyone that defends Dusty by now, I'm sorry. Don't listen to the podcast because you have no argument. But for those that do like and share it, please keep doing it. And boys, go Stros.
Go Stros.
Go Stros.